Doug, did you want to share a little bit about the experience you've had with evaluation recently?
Yeah, well, evaluation is it can be fun if you're a data nerd, but it can also be um, it can also be really hard because it is time consuming. Now, luckily, some of the metrics, like some of the systems used, like Facebook or YouTube or Mailchimp, they do a lot of this data collection for you. As far as if you want to know on a bigger scale, like especially like during Sunday worship, if you want to know like who am I reaching and what are their demographics, a lot of that information is being collected. Like on Facebook, you can not only see on a big scale, but you can also individually look at people's profiles where you can find all kinds of interests that they have, which will actually kind of help you to know if you're meeting the demographics that you set out to meet. But one of the things that I think is maybe just is as important, if not more important, is when you do these intentional meetings, like the trivia nights or the tasting events or small groups. You see people's faces, you meet them online, and you see them just like you're seeing us. You get to know them in a more intimate way, and that's more telling to know if you're actually connecting with people. Small groups. I think is interesting that we had a small group, and we had honestly geared that for our members, but then we had some visitors because we had made that available on our email marketing, and they got that email. They came to the meeting, and we were super excited that they were there. We of course knew that that was a possibility, and so we were surprised by that. But it was exciting to see them, and then we knew at that point that we were going to have to adjust some of the things that we did because we didn't necessarily know where this person was spiritually or how long they'd been in a church. We were getting to know them, and so we were accommodating to that. I think when you do certain events, you might learn when you do the first one, you might have a bunch of people come in. Then you do the second one, and maybe you don't have that, and you have to go back to the drawing board and kind of evaluate. Okay, what did we learn from these two events? What did we do differently? Why did this work for one? Why is this not working for the other? And then who are we getting? We might have set out, like Amy said, we might have set out for a certain demographic, and then all of a sudden you're reaching other people, and you just go with it because you're like, okay, obviously our content that we're doing is reaching this demographic. Let's embrace that, and let's also kind of figure out why and how can we implement that and do it better. If you're a super nerd, you can create spreadsheets like I did here to figure out who you're reaching and why, and then that will help you communicate things better as well. We learned from our first trivia night that a lot of the people that were interested in our event were folks that weren't connected to our church, and these and I don't mean like that was our intention to reach people who weren't connected, but these are folks that weren't even connected with the members of our church because they had found this information that maybe our membership had shared, but we didn't know them and other people didn't know them. So when we knew we were reaching the community, we had to figure out, okay, if that's what we're doing, if that's what our goal is, now let's target that. If these are the certain demographics that are saying they're interested in the first event, now we know who to make an ad for so that they're seeing this first thing when they pop up on their Facebook page. So we've done the evaluation. We're about to do the next one and see what the results of that are. But it's an ongoing process. Every time we have to reevaluate.